We are live. Greetings, class. Greetings. What is going on? It's good to see you. Sorry about that. We had a slight internet issue. Jason's in Florida, so he's got storms and things happen in Florida. Welcome to our show for the evening. This is our training. I am Chris Haskins, and I'm going to be your pilot, your co-pilot for tonight. And we're hanging out with my friend Jason Palliser. This gentleman has created several companies, but REI Black Book is one of them, and he's one of my mentors, friends. I consider him somebody, a trusted resource for all things real estate. And tonight, he's going to be sharing with us his secret, his system on how he locates and closes these tax delinquent real estate deals. Jason Palliser, what's going on, homie?
How you doing, man? Excited to be here. Just got back from a trip into Europe for 2 weeks, several countries, and now I'm I think my sleep patterns are back, so things are going good down here in Florida, except for the storms.
It's just part of the year. I understand. I can't wait to get down there myself. So how you been coming along? I know you're doing deals. Tell me a little bit about this high level, your take on the market. I love it when people say interest rates are going here. No, interest rates are going to go there. We're going to be having market slowing down. Market speeding up. You've been doing this thing, Jason. Give us your take on it, just from a roundup family can kind of get us your perspective.
Yeah, showing my age, been doing this 26 years, been in this real estate game for 28 from the lending side. I know, right? So, I always tell everybody the same thing. Interest rates go up and down, market goes up or down. All that does is change what strategy on the back end. Getting to the homeowners that need help first, like if you have a superior skill set to do that, that's never going to change. Yeah, he or she who can get there first wins. But all the market does is tell me what I'm going to do on the back end. So, like right now, we're going after we're buying data to like people that have adjustable rate mortgages that have had them for a long time. Now they're going up, and so some of those people are freaking out. So we just got a couple contracts on that, but the market doesn't scare me. It goes up, it goes down. Just change my strategy on the back end on what I do with the property.
I love it, Jason. I love your demeanor. You could always tell a true real estate guy, no emotion. There's just no emotion. And did you feel the same when you get in the deal? You would see the OGs go look at a house, right? And you're like, what? And they would walk in like they walk in. Like,
Chris, you're a pro. You're spot on. I was on a walk today, talked to a client. She was freaking out. Her name's Sabrina. And because like you just said, have you been doing it a while or have you not? She's like, the seller changed their mind and wants to charge more for the house. And I'm like, you say that sounds fine to me. I still need to see Alice, take pictures. We'll find a way to work together. After I said that, she goes, okay, I'll keep the appointment. She was going to cancel I'm like, what are you doing?
Don't do that.
Don't do that. They always change their mind, right? So it's part of the game.
Part of the game. So y'all get in. Please put in the chat name and where you are. I want to know where my roundup homies is coming from. We all around the country now, Jason. It's really cool.
I know. I love it.
Good evening, Michelle. Be in the building. Beauty. Shayana. Hey, Shayana. Good to see you. Beauty Nadi. So, Jason, let's get rolling, man. I love the system. I know you give me some extremely, welcoming goodies, I will say, every time that you open up this thing for my roundup family. And I want to, before you even get into this, thank you so much for your time, bro.
Yeah, not a problem. So, as we're going through anything that you think is important, just as you know, just stop me and have a conversation about it. So I'm ready to rock and roll if you are.
Yeah, let's do it. We got Darling in Long Island, Maria, Long Beach, California. Wow, look at that picture, Jason. These people are looking good. Wow, models.
I know, they're gonna help me. I need to step up my game.
Me too. Hey, y'all, Jason is having an internet thing, so if he blips out for a second, y'all just bear with us because he's going to be he's on his hotspot. And right before I came live, the second I was getting ready to hit the button, his internet goes out and his neighbors are out in the street, and it was crazy.
Yeah, we're all standing out in the street, like looking at each other. I'm like, yes, it happened to me too. So that is what it is, right?
Yeah. Jason Palliser, let's do it, brother.
Okay, so everybody, glad you're here this evening. Basically going to walk you through we're going to walk you through step by step. I'll tell you to take some screenshots on some things and help you develop your rhythm and answer a few questions for yourself on what lead sources to go after. How can we get the free motivated leads that are coming to us that actually raise their hand for help? So that's what we're going to be talking about tonight versus, what most people do, which is outreach. We want people to coming to us on a regular basis.
Raise your hand.
So who's this for? We get that question commonly. To me personally, it doesn't matter if you're getting started or if you've been doing it a while and you just simply want an easier way to close more deals, or you're just considering real estate and you also want to do this and know that deals happen when you help people, then you're in the right spot. Things that we'll talk about on this session is as we'll get into it, I track lead flow 34 ways. Most investors can't name more than 5 to 10 lead sources. So I'm going to go through and teach you my favorite lead source of all time. And I'm going to teach you why. Why you should never have to buy a list of distressed homeowners and say, hey, I'll pay cash for your house ever again. That's what we call the grab a list, do what the gurus tell you to do, and do the spray and pray marketing tactics. Like the gurus say, just grab a list. Now really get after it and follow up with them 100 times and be consistent. We're gonna do it vastly different than that, so you don't have to live in that world, because I know that world sucks, right? So we're gonna do it vastly different. We're gonna be teaching you how to talk to desperate homeowners. Literally the competition, they all do the same thing. We'll talk about that so you can bypass them. And but the main thing here is that you do not have to, if you do it the way that I walk you through tonight, you don't have to chase down sellers anymore. They'll literally start coming to you. And it's basically a inbound lead formula that we can get off market properties. They're not on the MLS. And the funny thing is that when you do this the right way, the homeowners are willing to sell you at a discount because of the nature of the problems that they're facing, which I'm going to walk you through and teach you why. The big thing is why, and then how we do it. So essentially, hey, making 5 figures a month from real estate and just eliminating the guesswork. That's what I get paid to do by large companies. We'll talk about that in a second, is that they want clarity and predictability from me, which is what I've been doing for large companies, some of them even publicly traded for a long time. And at the end, Chris and I already talked. At the end, if I have time, I'll take questions from you folks, but I'm also going to show you one of the transactions that I closed doing exactly what I'm going to teach you tonight. So I have that broken down for you towards the end so that we can walk you through an actual deal that I closed, and I made a little over 71 grand on it.
Wow.
Housekeeping items: turn off distractions, close other tabs, be ready to listen, make sure it's quiet. I will tell you on certain screens when to take a screenshot. So the ones where we're developing why or the techniques that we do, I'll tell you to take a screenshot on those, take as many notes as you want. And again, if I have time at the end, I will take questions. Some rules for the training tonight. This isn't get rich quick. I tell everybody, if you do it the right way, there's work involved, but you can make a lot of money. But I always tell people, if you do it the way that we show you to do it, you can get rich permanently. This isn't push button and get paid. And the fun part for me is that you don't have to call hundreds of random homeowners anymore. And you don't have to listen to the gurus that tell you the same stuff over and over. But what you do have to do, which Chris, what they do have to do is, when we press go on this, as you'll see, it'll be, without you even doing it yet, it'll be crystal clear to you that, you know what, I firmly believe my phone will start blowing up. So you got to be ready to talk to these people that need your assistance. And it's about becoming a problem solver while being profitable. Earnings disclaimers. You're going to see some people that we work with. You're going to see they made money. They put in the work. And so this isn't just, hey, follow the technique and just go back to Netflix and watch The Office and do all this stuff, and all of a sudden money flows in. You have to actually do the work. Okay. So let's get into this. I like to teach in terms of what's the problem in the marketplace, and then what can we do differently to solve it. So here's the problem. Sure, it's familiar to most of you. It's probably why you're here as a person that wants to do this, or the owner of your business, is that all the gurus teach you the same formula, which is grab a list. We spray and pray a bunch of outbound marketing and cold calling, and you get phone call after phone call where you're cold calling people. They don't know who you are, and they're like, "Not for sale. Lose my number. How'd you get my number? I'm gonna contact the state. Blah 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 blah." So that's what we call the spray and pray method. Get a list, and I'm just gonna spray and pray, and maybe somebody wants to sell me their house. That's like it's like playing darts with the blindfold on. That's what 99% of the marketplace does. Quite frankly, that's why some of you are here. You're like, yeah, I'm tired of that crap. So what can we do differently?
And they're clamping down on that, man.
Yeah, they are.
Regulations.
I know, and I love it. When you do it differently, you love it when they say no more text messaging.
That's right,
you love it when they get strict on cold calling. Because here's what we're going to do. We're going to actually have super motivated seller leads, warm incoming phone calls to us, which is hitting the bullseye because you're doing it the right way. So we're going to do it the exact opposite of what the marketplace typically does. So screenshot time. So out of 34 different ways, so I have 34 different lead funnels that we place in any marketplace. When I get hired by companies, they average 40 or 50 contracts a month. I have to track all that. So we're going to be talking about tax delinquent properties tonight. So I would screenshot this one because we're gonna talk about these bullet points a little bit later in great detail. But tax delinquent properties are in every city. Homeowners are in a serious bind if you go after the right ones, which I'm going to illustrate for you a campaign that we did where we narrowed down to the right ones to talk to. And they typically have a lot of equity in them. And the expert advantage is this. I think everybody here knows this, Chris, but every state in America has put laws in place that say, if you don't pay your property tax, we're going to take your house.
Take it.
So what we're going to do is we're going to use the state laws that they put in place to our advantage to get everybody coming to us. So just hold on to that one because we're going to break that one down in detail. But we're going to use every state's law that they put in place to our advantage to help these homeowners. And just to give you the gravity of this, total property tax, $340 billion. Do you think the states want their money? Look at that number. So I love it when people come to me, Jason, I just need to find motivated sellers. I can't get my rhythm and this and that. I just don't have any leads. So then I show them stuff like this. I'm like, well, that's weird because on average per state, there's at least 20,000 people that have missed a property tax payment. And since I track all this stuff, I know if they missed a payment, they have way more things going on than just the property tax payment bill that they can't pay. So that means everyone here, no matter what state you choose, there's 20,000 people that we could talk to and teach them how we can work with them to help them and close the transaction and make money. So nobody has a lead problem. You have a how do I do this the right way problem? That's a fair statement, but no one has a lead generation problem whatsoever. So here's one of the people that we worked with that we set her up on the tax delinquent stuff that we do. Her name's Julie. She does mortgages, her background. She's from Australia, folks. She's not even from the United States. She's done some of the guru stuff. She's done some of the guru stuff. Hey, do this, do that. And get this vacant list, get this high equity list. Let's call on this, and didn't get a response rate like she was looking for. But she implemented what we do from a tax company standpoint that I'm going to teach you, and got an incoming call to her. And here's some details about the property. The owner contacted her. She didn't contact them. They were behind on taxes. They had fees, interest piling up. She was about 60 days away from losing the property. Here's the big one that I really want you to pay attention to. The property was free and clear of mortgages. As is, that property was over 300 grand. She contracted it for 210. She resold it to somebody else for 240 and made $30,000 on the deal. She never saw the property. She's from Australia. She lives in California, and she did the deal, as you see at the top. She did the deal in Idaho. So she did virtually following exactly what we told her to do. and right out of the gate made 30 grand on the transaction.
That's cool.
So there's your statement right there.
You know, Jason, I remember when I was coming up, I pondered why somebody would let $8,000 stop them in the tracks from trying to find how could they borrow it? Could they get a loved one? You know,
Yeah.
I would always rack my mind trying to understand why they aren't doing something. And I just came to the realization that when they can't pay, they just can't pay. I mean, whether it's $10 or $8,000, or could you just talk about that, Jason? Because some people might not, they're looking at $8,000 like that's not a lot of money on a $300,000 house.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. So absolutely. So here's what we all need to come to an agreement on and a level of understanding. So to all of you listening right now, it would probably be just way outside of your realm of comprehension on why, okay, their house is worth 300. Why don't they just go get a loan, get some money, pay that off, get back on their feet and dust themselves off? One, they probably, when they miss tax payment, more than likely they have credit going on. I've been banking for 28 years, but I've done the longest. They probably can't get them. Two, some of them might be able to get a loan, but they're too embarrassed. They won't qualify.
Jay,
So
we're losing you, man. We're losing you, Jay. You got to back up. Oh, golly.
Okay, hold on. Let me
thunder going on down there.
Can you hear me?
Yes, you coming back in.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I got you now.
Okay, do you want me to try and switch back over or no?
Yes,
if I can't switch over, then I'll log back in.
Okay, cool. Yeah, give it a shot, Jay. Give it a shot with the internet. I can't hear you anymore. Sorry, y'all. We got Florida.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, we got Florida storms going on, so this is just the price of doing business. If you guys are enjoying this stuff so far, make sure you give us a thumbs up. Jason's just coming back from Europe somewhere. I don't know. He's so generously agreed to come on here.
Now, right?
You clean.
Okay, I just connected to the other internet, so I think we should be good now.
All right, cool. So you said number one. Go ahead.
Okay, so most of you, I don't know where it cut off, but I'm assuming I'll just start over. Why? So Chris, you asked me the question, why? Why don't they just go get a loan? They got truckloads of equity. They don't have good credit. Okay, so they can't go get a loan, or some of them could, but they think they can't, and they're embarrassed. They don't want to talk about the situation. That's one. Two, you probably would say, why don't they just list it for sale? A lot of times when they miss the payment, they know they need to do some work, and they're scared to talk to a realtor and tell them their problems. And then also to have the realtor say, hey, you know what? We really do need to paint this before we sell. If they don't have the money to pay their back taxes, do you really think they have the money for $9,000 to paint their house? They don't. So they sit on these problems until it's too late. Okay. So there's more reasons than that, but those are a couple really good reasons on why they don't go fix the situation. And it's a great opportunity for you to come and solve some problems for them.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Okay. So what we're talking about is having them call us, which is way better than what most of you have done, which is grab this list, grab that list. The guru said it did do this. And then I'm calling, and everybody says, not for sale. How'd you get my number? And you feel like a sleazy phone salesperson. So we're flipping the script on that. Everyone's going to call you, and you're going to see why. Okay. And the fun part is when they're calling you, you don't have competition because everybody else says the same thing. I'd like to buy your house. I'm looking to purchase one more house in the area. And they've already heard that 50 times. So it basically makes people look foolish. So once you understand how we do this, the inbound lead formula literally starts spinning like a fast machine. People will be calling you, begging you to help them purchase their property because they feel like they do not have any other options, and you can now solve it. They'll tell you they need help on the very first phone call. They don't say, oh, well, what's in it for you? Because they're approaching you as a tax advocacy company, as you're about to see, which means you'll never run out of leads again. You can close deals, have the income you want, whatever benchmarks or goals you set for yourself. In this lead flow sandbox alone, you can hit them, folks. So whatever goals you set, you can hit those goals with certainty. A little bit of background on me. 25 years investing in real estate, 26 actually now. Working with hedge funds. Hey, Jason, we need 40, 50 homes a month. We heard you're the guy that can attack a city and get us to those numbers. I've been teaching lead generation around the nation for large companies, TV shows for almost 20 years. And as I said, as we got started, I track 34 lead funnels, all of them. What one ranks number 1, 2, 3, 7, 12, 18. Tax delinquent is always the top 1 or 2 in 100 plus cities that I track it. We're 138 cities and counting. I've closed 3,300 transactions. And as you're listening to me now, I've trained over 28,000 of you across the nation. That's a little bit of background on who I am, what I do.
Gracious.
So screenshot time. Why tax delinquent? So now let's break down why. If you understand why, then you'll clearly start to understand, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go to sleep, wake up, and start becoming a pro in this particular lead flow. So it's my favorite lead source because I know it gives me the most bang for my buck because I track it. I get paid to track it for large companies. So it's absolutely my favorite lead funnel of all time. I've tested over 100 variations of what I'm going to talk to you about tonight on how you do it differently than everybody else. And so therefore, I know from testing it 100 different ways that if you do it this way, I have clarity and predictability on people coming to you so you can solve their problems and close it out. But the third one is really when I wanted you to take a screenshot and anchor in on this one. If you go after the right, remember I said there's 20,000 in any state you choose, the 20,000 leads, tax delinquent. We only want to go after the ones that are free and clear of mortgages, which means they have a lot of equity, which means you can strike almost any type of deal with them. So I'm going to talk to you about how we go after just the ones that we, with 93% accuracy, are free and clear of mortgages, which means that they're not upside down on their mortgage and also have problems. They have a lot of equity, which means you can come in, negotiate a really good deal, still put a bunch of cash in their pocket, and it's an absolute blistering win-win. They have the highest profits. Here's things that I know why delinquent tax properties. When they miss a property tax bill, they have serious problems that go well beyond just regular they miss their taxes. We're going to use all 50 states' property tax laws to your advantage to help them. And regular investors do not know how to do this. And here's the other thing, and this is a secret between us. This is not, I repeat, this is not tax liens. I'm going to buy some tax liens. We get there first, folks. This is not tax deed sales strategies where you try and buy the properties at tax deed auction and you have to have all the money to buy the property. I'm not talking about that either. We literally beat the pants off them. That's beginner stuff because we get there first. Okay? So here's a couple of our clients, Noah and Katie. Hey, 3 days after hitting go, following exactly what you wanted us to do, they took an inbound call from a lady, fixed income. She was just a few days away from having the house sold at tax auction. It ended up with $0. They stepped in as a tax care advocate, which I'm going to talk to you about. They helped her find a new place. They made $16,800. And the favorite thing I want you to see on here at the bottom, their phone is still blowing up with folks that need their help. It works. Here's Joey. Hey, just had my first $50,000 month. Thanks, Jason. Jermaine, 17 grand, one deal. And as you see, start to finish in 33 days. Hey, just want to let you know it actually works. Completing the course, mailing out 183 mailers. Now, here's where I get to have fun with everybody. Did I not just say 20,000 leads? 20,000 leads. Nobody has a lead problem. He pared the list down to 183, found exactly what we told him to do. You don't have to, like, we do this without needing a big budget because we know ones are free and clear with 93% accuracy. I don't want to go after the ones that have tons of mortgages on them. I want to go after the ones that I know with certainty, a high degree of certainty, have no mortgages on them. So why are they getting these deals? Here's why. Take a screenshot. We we turn them into a tax care advocacy company for their area. Okay. We've been developing this for years. We have different aspects of the program that we've been developing for 5 years, 8 years, 6 years, 9 years. And what we did is we took every state in America, we took their tax law, their property tax law, and literally built a full-blown program around preventing the tax sale. And so the homeowners in all these marketplaces, in your marketplace that you choose, now know you as a tax care advocacy company and not a real estate investor. And here's the fun part, Chris. And I said this on a speech I gave, and literally I saw everybody's brains explode. And so I'm going to say it here right now, the same thing. Folks, right now, as you're listening and taking notes and screenshots, do you think a homeowner that has real problems, missing property tax payments and all these other problems, do you think they want to talk to a real estate investor? Or do you think that they want to talk to a tax care company that can say, hey, I have 3 separate ways that I can help you, and I would love to see what we can do to help you. I have a full-blown tax advocacy program.
Wow.
Who do you think they want to talk to, folks? I already know the answer. So what we do is build you out as a tax care company. We build out a full-blown company for you. Websites, marketing materials, approval programs, literally 3 different options that we offer them. And there's no licensing needed to be a tax care specialist. You don't need to be a realtor or anything like that either. Sellers feel comfortable sharing their problem with a tax care company versus a real estate investor. They'll tell you everything, folks. They want to talk to you on a deeper level versus, hey, I'll pay cash for your house before you lose it, like most investors do. No one has ever offered to help them without something in return, which we teach you how we do that. And then most of these sellers are the most desperate sellers that you'll ever run into of all time. So how do you do this? How do we get the inbound calls coming to us? We developed a tax delinquent blueprint formula. Okay. So there's 2 types of way you can go about this. We already talked about the first one. Hey, I'll pay cash for your house. And you cold call, hey, not for sale, lose my number, I'm reporting you, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure most of you have run into that. That's expensive. You're mailing to random people. They have no clue who you are or why they should be talking to you. They don't respond. And if they do, or if you get them on the phone because you're reaching out to them, then they're pissed off most of the time. And it's because of the approach, folks. Or we can do it the way that I just kind of showed you, which is we will target the right homeowners that need the most help and approach them the right way as a tax advocacy company. Hey, we know the state rules. We'd like to talk to you about it. Did you know that there's some rules that we can educate you on and show you different ways that we can help you? And there's even some programs and blah, blah, blah. Now they want to speak to you, folks. They need to sell. Now I don't mail out to thousands. I narrow it down to the free and clear ones. So I spend a fraction in marketing expenses. They're in such pickles that we close lightning fast. And my favorite part is that when we do this right, it's repeatable and predictable. They want to actually talk to you. They're calling you. You are not calling them saying, hey, my name's Jason. I know you don't know me yet, blah, blah, blah. I don't live in that world. I live in a world where I answer my phone. So what do? We developed the tax delinquent blueprint. So here's what we did. I'd probably take a screenshot of this one if I were you. We developed the tax delinquent blueprint. We use state tax law to our advantage. We turn you into a tax care advocate for whatever cities and counties you want to go after. They're the most highly targeted leads, hands down. Sellers are calling you excited that you can help them and ready to speak to you. It's a full-blown tax care assistant. This isn't just it's a new technique. I always laugh when people say that. Like, we're building out a full-blown company for you that offers 3 different help buckets to them. All they've ever heard from anybody in the marketplace is, hey, before you lose it, can I put some cash in your pocket?
That's a big one.
Yeah, it's crazy, Chris. Like now they're talking to our advocates. Our advocates say, hey, here are the rules because we teach you. We teach you 4 things to find out what you can find out in 60 seconds from your county, so you know what the rules are. Hey, here are the rules. So let's talk about that. And we have 3 separate ways that we can help you. They'll call you. Here's what's going to happen. Your phone will ring, and they'll call you and say, hey, I'm calling about your tax assistance program. There's a code here. I'm calling about tax assistance code TAC 424, blah, blah, blah. They're ready. And what you're going to do is you're going to say, give me 2 minutes. By the way, I have all this scripted for you. Hey, give me 2 minutes. Tell me how you got behind. I have 3 separate ways I can help you. We exist because we don't think this tax sale process is fair. And they will spill their freaking guts. It means no more competition. Let your competition throw their money away on horrible marketing practices and outreach like everybody's taught you to do, while your phone lights up like a Christmas tree. I could go back a few slides where Katie and Noah said, and our phone is still blowing up, but I think you remember that. Mm-hmm. And I've been doing this for 25 years. I attack a market 34 ways for big companies. So I have multiple lead funnels coming into me. Nothing compares to our tax delinquent advocacy lead flow funnel that leads back to our office. So let me walk you through what I'm kind of talking about, so I can illustrate. We don't waste money like most investors have been taught to do. So the spray and pray method that most of us are used to, the gurus say, hey, get this list or get that list, and now you're staring at a list of 10,000. So while everybody does that and starts wasting money and getting told no, here's what we start doing. We reduce the list, motivation level number 1, down to 7,500. They don't listen. Motivation number 2, they live out of state. Motivation number 3, they have trouble paying their bills. So we don't go after 10,000 and start paying money to skip trace 10,000 or paying money to mail out to that many. We're paring the list down. So this is where we're at right now. So let me take it further. So here's Tiffany. Tiffany's following. She pared down her list. Okay. So she pared down her list. She has a realty license. She's in Florida. And similar thing, yet again, owner was behind 10 grand, almost little less than 4 months away from losing their house. She contracted it for 187, resold it for 235, made 47 grand. By following, paring down the list, she did not go after 10,000. She followed exactly what we step-by-step showed her to do. There's her closing. Now, while your competition goes after 10,000 and we pared down the list, here's what you're going to do. Remember, we pared it down to 800? Well, we go even further. We refine the list even further. We teach you how to do that. So we got it down to 375. I'm going to walk you through a campaign that we did. We sent out the tax assistance letter. We also have the tax care advocacy website set up. 87% of them filled out the form on our website. Here are the metrics of this campaign that we did. So we didn't go to 10,000. We didn't go to 4,000. We didn't go to 3,000. We got it down to 375. Week 1, 78 calls. Week 2, 71. So we had 149 inbound calls. We made offers. Wow. We made offers on 23 of them, 16%. We had 3 of them accepted. Our average profit per deal was a little over 16.8. So the revenue produced on this campaign of 375 was roughly 50 grand. We minus out our expenses on this particular campaign that we did, 390, and we netted right around 50. So that's a 13,000% return on our money. We go after the ones that are free and clear with 93% accuracy. Starting to make sense, folks? So what did we do? We perfected and built out a national program for tax advocacy based upon whatever state you're in. We built out a full-blown tax care program based upon their state tax rules. And here's what we know. The tax assistant absolutely crushes the competition's I'll pay cash that they do. It's the difference between getting hung up on, which most investors get pissed off and frustrated about, and motivated sellers calling you. We teach you what exact list that we go after, specialized. It's well beyond a tax lien or tax deed strategy. We get there first. So what we do is we deploy your company that we build out for you like a pro. And then we teach you how often we reach out to them. They're the best leads of all time. And then again, you start taking incoming phone calls. Hey, I'm calling you about tax assistance code TAC. There's a program here. Yeah, give me 2 minutes. Tell me how you got behind. And we have 3 separate ways that we can help you. We exist because we don't think this process is fair. We can certainly help you. And you finally get to start working with the desperate homeowners that need your help, and they view you as the expert, and you can make a good living doing it. This is how it's done. So here's another one. Hey, thanks, man. My phone has been blowing up since I hit go. Now my website's starting to pick up. I'm having trouble keeping up, which is a good thing. He used to make outbound phone call after outbound phone call, and I won't say his metrics, but I'll just say that he was about ready to pull his hair out. And now all of a sudden his phone's ringing off the hook. Here's what we do. So here's the flow of how we do this. 1, we get the lead list from the county delivered. Then we pare the list down and we press go with a tax assistance letter. Hey, we notice you're behind on your state property tax. At our tax care company, we help pull funds together to pay those delinquent taxes. Call us at, visit us at, email us at, and reference tax assistance code TAC 424, blah, blah, blah. We're here to help you. Boom, out the door.
That's crazy.
They start calling you. Hey, I'm calling about your program, calling about your tax assistance program. Can you tell me how you can help me 3 different ways? We present offers to them and solutions. We make an offer. It gets accepted. We sell the contract to somebody else. We typically just wholesale it out. You can get to them first, folks, and keep them if you would like. Then we agree to a closing date with the seller that we helped out with our cash buyer. We close on it. Seller's happy. We solved their problem so they didn't lose it and end up with nothing. Our end cash buyer's happy because we sold it over to them and they got it at a discount. We make $25,000 assignment fee. We get to celebrate. And my favorite part of the entire flow when you do this is that we rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. This isn't hard. If you know which ones to go after and everybody's calling you saying, hey, I'm calling about a tax assistance program. Could you tell me how you can help me with this? And we teach you exactly what to do, what to say, how to work with them, and turn this into a predictable, repeatable machine. Here's Scott. What I want you to see is this. He followed paring the list down in the area that he was in, just so you folks know. I think it was 7,000 that was on the list of tax delinquent. He followed our process. He didn't even narrow it down to hundreds. He narrowed it down to 20. He narrowed it down and then also went down to a specific subdivision, and he mailed out 20. He got 16 incoming calls, but the fun part for me is look at what he said at the bottom. 50, because he followed what we taught him to do. 15 of the 16 houses were free and clear.
Sweet.
He's like, you literally own this sandbox. He's like, I've been going after all of them for years and just throwing money in the trash. Now he doesn't do that anymore. Here's Langston. Hey, hit go on a lead list. As you see, we narrowed his down from several thousand to 877, and Beverly called him for help. She was behind. House needed a lot of repairs, a lot of stuff going on, mold, this and that. She had no money in the bank. She contacted Langston as a tax advocacy company, and he helped her out, helped her put $150,000 in the bank. And the fact is, she called him and needed him as an advocate. She goes, everyone in town was calling me because they know I was behind on my taxes. I'll buy your house. And she goes, I'm just thankful somebody taught me what are the rules and gave me multiple solutions to choose from. And as you see, he said, hey, I don't post checks, but this is probably the first and last time I will do it. Hey, thank you for helping me set this up, blah, blah, blah. And specifically, he said, Jason, show me how this is done. I need money for my kids' college fund. So I said, we got you covered. And first transaction, 35 grand. Here's Grayson, 24 grand. The reason I put him on here is this. His specific words to me were, Jason, but my market's saturated. That's my favorite thing.
And everybody says that. Everywhere I go.
Saturated. Yeah, you know it, Chris. My market's saturated.
Everybody says that.
So his first transaction, 24 grand. And I said, but I thought your market was tough and saturated. And he told me, he goes, zip it. I'm taking lots of phone calls now. Deals close in every marketplace. Do you have a superior way to engage those people? You either do or you don't. And as I said before, right now, answer this question. If you know the answer to this question, then I think you're going to like what I'm about to show you. Do you think a homeowner that's in distress wants to talk to yet again another investor who says, I'll pay cash for your house? Or do you think they want to talk to a tax care company that says, here are the rules, here are 3 ways that we can work with you? You know the answer, right? So go it alone, do the normal guru stuff, cold call, get told to jump in a lake, get frustrated, or let's set up a tax care company. We've done it, tested it, mastered it. No one does what we do. We built out a national tax advocacy program that literally we can plug you into, and you can have a full-blown business set up in a matter of days. So what am I speaking about? The tax delinquent blueprint. So what do we put together? A full-blown 11-step training lesson system that literally you could be done by tomorrow. We have certifications. You literally go through the modules. After each module is done, you take a test, pass it. And when you're done, that automatically notifies our team to start working on building out some of the other stuff that we do. We're going to build out a marketing portal for you, a website, a tax advocacy website. But here are the things that we do. We have every script on how to talk to the homeowner. Give me 2 minutes. Tell me how you got behind. We have 3 separate ways we can help you. Script, bullet point by bullet point. We show you how we wholesale the contracts that we write when we help out these homeowners. Literally how we write the contracts and sell them to somebody else if you're not keeping the property. How to get the cash buyers in that same zip code that you wrote a contract in. We do that 10 different ways. And then our exact tax assistance marketing template. So here's some things that for the first 10 people, fast action bonuses that you guys will get. Okay. You'll get to sit in my 2-day blueprint. Chris, we talked about it earlier. So my 2-day blueprint is where I build out 34 lead funnels. So pay attention. For the first 10 people that actually get signed up, we'll let you sit in on one of the 2 days of the tax delinquent blueprint. I do crazy stuff in there where we attack cities, like show you how we do direct mail for free. I can show you how to be in 20,000 mailboxes for free, folks. You understand that your phone will ring just off of that alone. So, so stay tuned for that. But as long as you're one of the first 10, we'll let you sit in on 1 day of the full-blown 2-day blueprint build out.
I think they got the dates for us too coming up later on that. Okay.
Yeah, so you'll screenshot the dates and then you'll tell us which ones you want. Here's Von Trees right out of the gate, 28.9. Hey, I want to say, hey, thanks for the blueprint. The negotiation stuff really works. And there's her first one. She didn't use any of her own money, and using a bank and qualifying for anything wasn't required. So when we get you started, here's some bonus items for you. You may want to screenshot each one of these because you'll be entitled to these. When we set you up as a tax care advocate, we want to make sure it's done right. So we will actually build out your marketing pieces for you, your company logo and everything. The second thing that we'll do, I mentioned earlier, in my campaign where we narrowed it down to 375, I told you 87% of the people visited our tax care website and filled out the form saying, yes, I'd like to speak to you. We will build out your full-blown tax care company website for you. Here's Scott. Hey, follow the plan. And right out of the gate, 24,000, less than 30 days. Here's the third thing that we'll do. We want to make sure that we set you up and get the ball rolling and do this the right way. And then also we know that some of the transactions you run across may need to close fast. So you may need help getting it to the finish line. So we've built out a deal submission portal for you where we will joint venture on the deal with you. It's in our best interest to set you up and turn you into a tax advocacy monster because we want to work deals with you. So we will joint venture with you. Here's Charles. Hey, just followed it step by step. It's my 4th check since February. Again and again and again. So here are the things that we're setting up for you. Full-blown training system you guys could be in tonight. listening and literally going through the lessons, passing your tests, which notifies our team to start building your website. We have the scripts done, the document portal. We show you how to get the best cash buyers in any zip code you choose, the marketing template. The one thing that we added was that we'll let you sit in on one of my full-blown 2-day blueprint build-outs where we attack a city 34 ways, and you'll walk out of there with tons of different lead sources that I know that you probably don't even know exist. We will build your marketing pieces. We will build your website, joint venture marketing, joint venture portal that you can submit deals to. The fourth thing that we'll do is we have a private group where everybody works together and collaborates together ongoing. So you'll get access to the Tax Delinquent Blueprint private Facebook group.
Sweet.
Here's Chris and Henry. Hey, 30,000, Jason. Hey, just want to give you a shout out. We had our first $50,000 month. Why? Because these people have a lot of equity and they are desperate and they need help. It's a win-win, folks. The fifth thing that we will do is we'll also give you 8 weeks of insider coaching training inside our vault. So we'll give you access to that as well, where we walk through, hey, here's what we do. Here's how the phone calls come in. We got you set up. We have recorded phone calls so you can hear exactly what we do, what we say. So we'll give you access to that as well. And so I always ask everybody, I'm like, what's just doing one of these transactions on a monthly basis, like Katie and Noah that did 16.8, or Von Treese who did 28,000. If you did one of those a month or per week or per day, like what's this worth to you? If you just did the low end, like Katie and Noah did 16.8, would it be worth all the setup that we do? So this is our third, just so you folks know. We did this and then privately opened it up to a few of my ongoing clients that I work with as a first round of beta tester to work out the kinks. They paid a lot more. They paid a lot more to get set up because they were a first round. We knew it was going to be labor intensive. So if you were closing 16.8 every month, would you pay $8,000 to set up a full blown company? Of course you would. Mm-hmm. But you're not our first round of beta testers. We've already set it up. Now we've been testing it for an extra 3 or 4 years. We have it down to a science. It's razor sharp. So you don't have to pay that. So here are all the things that you're getting. I just added the 2 things at the bottom, which is the private Facebook group and also the coaching aspect of it, the insider coaching vault, where you hear us take calls and do everything, set this up the right way. Our beta testers out of the gate paid a lot more to get access to it. So what are we going to do? And again, the first 10 will also get to sit in on a full-blown 2-day blueprint. Not 8,000. Our first round, our second round of beta testers, not $19.95. Here's what you guys can get rocking and rolling on, and we'll set up your full-blown company. One payment of $14.95, or if you want to do 3 payments, $6.95. All you have to do is go to noflippingexcuses.com/Chris, K-R-I-S, and we'll give you all the things. The training portal, pass the test. It moves on to our team to start building your marketing piece. They start building your logo. They start building your website and all the things that I said, the tax delinquent documents, the cash buyer stuff, the insider training, the insider coaching vault, everything, private group, submission.
Sweet.
So make it a no-brainer, Chris. We did this for you before. So literally 0 risk on your guys' part. All you got to do is do it, narrow down the list from 1,000 and just send out 100, not even 200 or 300. Just send out 100. Follow step by step when you take the calls. Hey, give me 2 minutes. Tell me how you got behind. If you don't have contracts that are going to make your money back, then I'll literally refund you and pay you $100 for wasting your time, because I know it won't happen. Mm-hmm. I could go back on a couple of the slides where they said my phone's still blowing up. My phone's still blowing up. Because homeowners don't know you exist yet. They do not know you exist yet. When they know that there's a tax care company with 3 separate ways to help, and they don't have to talk to a real estate investor who says, I'll pay cash for your house, they literally call you. We have one lady calls 19 times within a half an hour.
Get out of here.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Let me stop you. Let me ask you, Jay. I want people to get to questions and listen. If you want to get started, done, you see the value in this. You're instantly ready to get rocking and rolling. The links in the video description, in the show notes right below. Jason has given us. And what I want my Roundup family to know is you can find this nowhere else on the internet. I promise you. I promise
100%.
you. Huh?
Yeah, 100% correct. If you look online, I'll just tell everybody, if you look online and find us online without the /Chris, you'll pay $4,000. So,
yes.
So it's pretty simple. And you won't get to sit in if you're one of the first 10. And you won't you won't get the coaching. You won't get the 8 weeks of coaching. You won't get the deal submission portal. So all you have to do is go to noflippingexcuses.com/Chris and literally start taking incoming phone calls.
Yep. Or just go right below. I put the link in the show notes, Jason. They don't need to leave. They can click right there. It'll take them right to it. Click right below, y'all. And I need to put it right below. Go ahead, Jay. Sorry, I want to reintroduce you for people that are just joining us. We're talking about tax delinquent real estate deals here with my friend Jason Palliser. He gives me an unbelievable package for my Roundup family because of the amount of volume that we do. And Jason is in another inner circle that we're into. So he gives us exclusive access to this stuff, y'all. You're not going to get this nowhere else, even if you go look before you go to the link. I promise you. I'm not here to waste your time.
Yeah, 100% correct.
Thanks, Jay.
Yeah, so here's some normal questions too, Chris. Hey, if I'm new, do you think I'd be qualified to start taking some incoming calls and put a deal together? We walk you through how to write the contracts and also how to sell them to other people if you're just starting. Or if you're just looking for consistent lead flow, and I always say predictability, then we've got you covered. Or if you've been doing it for a while. So it doesn't matter if you've been doing it a while. And Tiffany, remember Tiffany, I said she's a realtor. She's out of Florida. We set her up. She's been doing this a long time, folks. And here's an exact quote from her. She goes, "Hey, it works so well, Jason." She goes, "I've literally eliminated all my other lead flow channels."
Oh, man.
Just giving you an exact quote from her. That's Tiffany out of Florida. And she's been a realtor and she's been investing for a long time. She goes, "The phone calls I take, they're ready to freaking speak to me." She's like, it's insane. So here's another one from John. "Hey, got my first response. Interesting. The sellers are much friendlier than other marketing methods, and it's refreshing. It's because they're calling you about your taxes." You remember this moment. Once we get you set up and you take calls, remember, I told you this, and when it happens in the private Facebook group that you'll be in, back, holy crap, Jason, you're right. They'll call you and say, "Hey, I'm calling about tax assist. You have a program here. It's a tax assistance code TAC 424, blah, blah, blah." That's exactly what they're going to do. And then literally we have the scripts ready to go. I think it's in module 3. We teach you, give me 2 minutes. Tell me how you got behind. We have 3 separate ways we can help you. I'll lay that out for you, and you're off and running.
I want to just make sure my Roundup family understands the difference. It's just an entire mindset shift from my perspective, Jason, when you're talking to people. And I have had sellers call me and sell me a property and said, "I specifically didn't want to deal with somebody that called me. I wanted to be the one that I reached out to." And they don't, different age brackets. And it's just a different mentality.
Absolutely. Like here, I'll give you an example. We took a call from a lady, and Alyssa and Pat on my team went on the actual appointment. Took the call coming in. She goes, "This is refreshing." She goes, "Hey, I can't remember the day, so just forgive me. Let's say it was a Wednesday at 11. We set an appointment to talk to her because she was in a real pickle." She goes, "I'm calling about your tax assistance program." And I walked her through it. "Give me 2 minutes, blah, blah, blah." And she said, exact quote, she goes, "Hey, when your team comes by," she goes, "I'm going to show them how many postcards I have from investors and show them how many text messages where they all said the same thing." She's like, "Thank you." She's like, "Thank you for existing." She goes, "I didn't even know that there was a tax care company that not only can teach me what the rules are for my area, but then show me 3 different ways we could work together." And so works like a charm, folks.
Sweet.
600 contract in the last 3 months. So in the last month, and 3 so far this month. Right there. There's a text message from Greg, one of our clients. Here's Alyssa. "Hey, tax delinquent blueprint's a game changer. Works like a charm. Sellers are actually motivated to sell and want my help."
Yeah.
So as I listed before, here are all the things. Yeah, some of you right now are already getting started, and literally you've already got an email saying, "Hey, here's your portal, here's your login access," and you could literally be done and take your test and pass, so it moves on to my team to start building your website in a matter of a few hours. These are all the things you're going to get. You'll also get to sit in on my 2-day blueprint one of the days so that you can literally see all the lead sources that we do. Some of the stuff most people don't even know exists. That's why I do it for hedge funds, folks. But we're serious about having you taking incoming phone calls and stop the freaking cold calling. So here's where you go.
Get them off the drug.
Yeah, get on. Yeah, like oh.
I don't promote cold calling. I've tried it. It's just not my flow, man.
Yeah, like folks, as I'm talking to you, I do not make cold calls. I don't do it. Okay, so go to noflippingexcuses.com/Chris. You'll get all the extra stuff that we've added in, and if you want to make payments, you can do 3 payments of $695, and our team will set you up with a full-blown tax care company.
Thanks, Jason.
So, like I said, 2 choices: do nothing, don't take us up on the risk-free offer, go to sleep, wake up tomorrow, knowing that you could have people calling you about a tax assistance code and helping them 3 ways, or join our team with your investment. It's a full-blown company in a box. We're literally waiting to welcome you on the inside. Like, as soon as you go in there and make a post, everybody's like, "Hey, welcome to the team, blah, blah, blah." Like, you're not having to do any of this stuff alone. Okay? Here's my case study that I promised. And again, if we have time, I'll also take some questions. It's up to you, Chris.
Yeah.
Here's one that I closed. So here's one that I closed. Property owner called us from the tax assistance letter. In red, I put this in red. That's why I put this one here. Not just that I made a good amount of money solving some problems for her, but she had over 70 investors marketing to her. She had a truckload of letters and postcards, and she showed us her phone, just like the other one I talked to you about. Hey, look at all these people. Like, I talked to you on a Monday. You're here on a Thursday. I had 10 people saying, "Hey, I'm interested in your house." And so we just followed it. Here was her situation. 2 properties, both delinquent on taxes. They were both free and clear because we didn't go after the wrong ones, folks. I cannot allow you to throw money away on the wrong tax delinquent properties, folks. We teach you in, I think, Module 4 how we do that. And she needed funds for medical bills, you name it. We solved her problems, and between the 2 transactions made 71 grand. Just like that.
Crazy.
So again, these are all the things that you get. All you have to do is go to noflippingexcuses.com/Chris, and you'll get all the bonuses and stuff. Chris, you mentioned it earlier. I'll say it again. If you find us online, you'll pay $4 grand, and you won't get the coaching vault. You will not get the deal submission portal. And for some of you, you won't have the opportunity to sit in on my 2-day blueprint build out, where you get to see some more lead sources. If you have questions for us, there's a phone number right here, 317-886-1400. You can call, and if our team's on the phone, it'll go to voicemail. Just leave a voicemail, and with your info, we'll call you back, or you can send us a text message. Hey, I have some questions for you. But the stuff that I said that's a bonus, sitting in on the 2-day blueprint, the vault, the coaching vault, the deal submission portal, all those other bonuses and everything, and the pricing goes away on the 6th at midnight. Okay, so this link will be live until the 6th at midnight. And again, it's $2,500 off the $4 grand that we do to set up our advocates, to set up their companies, their websites, their full-blown company, you name it. But after that, Chris, as you know, it's gone. We've done this for you a couple times before.
Thank you.
It gets awkward when people hit us up on the 7th. But here's the thing. It as Chris has taught you, as I'm teaching you, there's a much
action.
Like, yeah, go ahead, Chris.
Action. No, I'm listening, though. Action. I just want to surround my people with take action. Surrounded by people that take action. I don't care what it is, whether you're trying this, trying that, just try something.
And by the way, for fun, since again, I'll take some questions, Chris.
Yeah, I got them here. Yep.
Okay, so for fun, just so you folks understand, let me give you the like. I said earlier, and you were taking notes, but now I get to slow down. Remember what I said because you learned a lot tonight. I said that I tested 150 different variations of the tax assistance advocacy that we rolled out, which means I tested one and then I tested another one. Well, the other one won, so then the first one's gone. I did that. I did that over 100 times, and the reason I say that is this: way back when I probably midstream when I figured it out, I want to let everybody know my phone exploded. I was like, you know what? Let's add a full blown tax assistance code and program in there, and not not just give them one option. Let's give them three. And I started testing that. Well, here's the thing. At first, I just did the code. Hey, call us about our tax assistance code. We know what the state rules are, and people lose their freaking minds. So my phone blew up, Chris, and everybody that's listening. But here's where I failed. As soon as they called me, I knew I won, right? I'm getting all the phone calls. Hey, I'm calling about your program. Yeah, so I don't want you to lose it at tax sale, so I'll put some cash in your pocket. They're like, oh man, you're
one of those guys.
You're just like you're just like, so I'm like, okay. I unlocked how to get all the phone calls, but I failed miserably on what I said to them. So then I'm like, you know what? Let me test out giving them different options. So then when they called me, I said, okay, here's your state rules. Here's 3 different options. And let's talk about which one works for you, because the fourth option is you lose it at tax sale with nothing to show for it. And when I started doing that, they're like, okay, yeah, here's my problems, and go over the options with me again. Then all of a sudden, we were best friends. So I succeeded at unlocking and getting all the phone calls and laughing at my competition, but then I failed because I immediately said, I want to buy your house. So I realized that there's a different way to speak to these people that gets them to the finish line. And folks, I'm telling you, you want to play in a sandbox with no competition. If you do this the way that I teach you and we set up for you and my team's ready to roll, then this is a consistent lead flow that you can close deal after deal until you shut the switch off. Now, Chris, questions for me?
Yeah, let's do it, man. Get you some water there. Round up, thank you so much for hanging out with us this evening. I've just been your co-pilot. We're not done for the day, but the pilot here tonight, Jason, will definitely go over some questions, and just the ease of this, as I look at it, the approach, it's all about your position. In real estate, position is everything. You got first position, second position, third position. And with this thing here, I'm like, the positioning that you have when you talk to these people, it's just mind blowing, Jason. So thank you for opening us up for us.
Yeah.
Yumiko, hey, says, how far delinquent on taxes is too far, Jason? Or is there such a thing?
No, there's not. I mean, you obviously run out of time. Every state's different. So in module 2, we go over the 4 or 5 things that you need to know for your state and county so that you understand what the rules are. And I'll just use mine as an example to have you understand what we teach you. And by the way, you can have this done in 5 minutes. So state of Missouri, where I'm originally from, I live in St. Pete, Florida now, but in St. Louis, the rules in Missouri, if you're 3 years behind on taxes, you're slated for tax sale in August. The list of properties for tax sale comes out in July, and then there's a 1-year redemption period. And so how far is too far? All the way up until the last day of tax sale. So it doesn't matter to me. But we teach you which ones to go after. So at a glance, everybody on here, you could start hunting. And by the way, we have data specialists too that can also help unlock your delinquent tax lead list as a part of the tax delinquent blueprint family. And as one of our advocates, we have data assassins that can unlock marketplaces for you. Having said that, we teach you how to narrow down the list to the ones that are severely behind, but not at tax sale yet. We also teach you how to pull the houses back. I hope you pay attention to what I say now. We also teach you how to pull the houses back where the homeowner's already lost the property to an investor at tax sale. So we teach you, if you're in a state that has a redemption period, we have ninja techniques to pull the house back from that investor. And literally make the investor's head spin while you get to help the homeowner and get paid for it.
Yeah, that redemption thing is something that you learn with time.
Oh,
You
yeah.
learn with time. You think you're doing something. You got to be just trained by the right people. We got an IG question here, Jay. If
Yeah.
Mikey Mike says if they have equity in their house, why not just list it? Why aren't they just listing the property? That's a good question.
Yep. Yeah. I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but now that we're in Q&A, I'll fillet that one wide open again. What you have to understand is logically, when you ask that question, I agree with you. You should list the house 100%. But what I need you to understand about the ones that we go after, they are so far gone with so many negative financial things going on, and their credit's been messed up, you name it, that they don't think that they can go get a loan, number one. And number two, they're embarrassed to talk to a realtor. They'd rather hide trying to find a way to get the back taxes and scramble all the way to losing their house at tax sale than speak to a realtor and tell them their real financial problems. That's why. It's their minds. And if they have one or two items to fix up on the house, they are deathly afraid of talking to a realtor. And a realtor goes, hey, I can list it, but if you're going to get top dollar, we really need to paint. You need to fix that one kitchen cabinet, and we really do need to replace the ceiling fans. And now that homeowner's going to have to say, well, I don't even have money to pay my back taxes. I can't do that. So therefore they hide because of embarrassment. But when you have when you're a tax care company, they're like, oh my God, I might not have to talk to a realtor. I don't have to go to a banker and say, pull my credit. Oh my God, my credit sucks. You've got a program that you can help me. Please. What is it? Tell me. What have I got to tell you? Hey, tell me what your situation is. I have 3 separate ways I can help you. And they spill their guts because they feel safe talking to you.
Jason, just for 30 seconds, could you just talk about the mentality of every human is different? I have to remind myself, this is a real estate is a people business.
Yeah.
Every time you do a deal, you got to buy a house from somebody. Every loan has to be underwritten by a human. Every inspector, every appraiser, every loan processor, a closing agent is just a person. Jason, what about the mindset of some people that don't want a lot of people walking in and out of their house? They were dealing with the agent.
Yeah, I mean, so that's the other thing too. Like, that's why they want to talk to you as a tax care advocate, because most people view this. Oh my gosh, if I start talking to realtors, if I start talking to this and that, yeah, then we're gonna have foot traffic through the house. They're gonna see all the negative stuff. But when they talk to you first as a tax care advocate, you establish a relationship with them. Like, hey, here are the 3 options. Let's pick one that you think works best for you, because the 4th option is you lose at a tax sale to an investor that will never say thank you when they buy your house, and I will not allow that to happen. And so we teach you how to have those conversations so they feel comfortable with you, so you can bridge the gap on the awkward parts. And they want to work with somebody that can present solutions, be concise, and help them out, versus ending up with nothing. And when you make it easy like that, then all the worries and fears about listing with a realtor and have 100 people walk through the house all evaporate, because they're working with you.
Mark from YouTube says, how can an owner have a free and clear house, there's no mortgage, and still be behind on taxes? What type of owners are these, Jay?
So they've, in some fashion, they've owned a home for years, and then they sold that home. They were able to pay cash for their house, but now they're in a financial situation to where, even though they own their house and they don't have a mortgage payment, they still have insurance on the house that they have to pay every year. They still have taxes on the house. So what happens is this, and I could go on and on about this. So you're saying, how could this happen, Jason? Like, somebody loses a job and they needed both incomes to sustain their house and their lifestyle. Somebody passes away. Now their kid's in college. They paid for college, but now their car broke down. Now they can't get to work to make money. Now they're in a pickle. That's one. Somebody got in a car accident. Somebody had a health issue, and they incurred $40,000 in medical bills that weren't covered. They tried to pay those a little bit. Now they can't pay their taxes. A pipe burst in the basement, and they use every dollar to fix the pipe that burst in the basement. Now they can pay their taxes. Now I could go on and on and on and on.
It could be anything. Good question, though, Mark. Is you'd be surprised, man. What I've learned: if you can't pay it, you can't pay it. It's just the bottom line. If they can't pay it, we got Instagram supporter tonight, Jason Steele Sam. What's the ongoing cost for the insider vault calls after the 8 weeks? Is that something that you offer? I don't know.
Yeah, no, there's no ongoing cost. Once you're a tax delinquent advocacy client of ours, and we've done your build out, we work with you in the private group, and there's no additional ongoing cost or anything like that. So once you're on the team, you're on the team. We answer questions in the private group. Our team set up your marketing piece. They set up your company workflow. We'll even help you set up your company phone number so you start taking incoming calls, and set up your company website, everything. And that's it.
This is it, y'all. It's 4th of July. This will not be around forever. Get started now. Don't waste the time thinking about yay or nay. The link's right in the video description. If you see a fit for yourself to locate these tax delinquent homeowners. Jason,
Here's the other thing, Chris. I did this, before I went to the general public. It might be good for everybody to know. Like, I did this privately for the large companies that hire me to do 40 or 50 contracts a month. This was just one of my lead flows out of 34. And the reason I say that is this: I had some of them offer to stroke a pretty large check to not let me offer this in the states that they operate in. They're like, hey, I don't want you to do this in my state or this or that or the other thing. And I told them no. I told them they couldn't stroke a check big enough. So like you get, because they know that they bypass the general public. So the last thing on earth they wanted is for you folks to become a tax care advocate, because they know how valuable these incoming leads are where they actually want to speak to you.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Victoria K, nice picture. Does she need to have any other software, Jason? CRM, PropStream? We got all that stuff
No.
anyway.
No, so you can't, like, we do live in the 21st century. We do have some CRM stuff already built out for you with all the tax flow, tax lead workflows in it. Like, literally a lead comes in off your website. We already have 20 plus actions that can automatically happen for you. It is not a prerequisite for you being set up as a tax care advocate. We have it available for people that want that, but it's not we set you up, the mail goes out, you start taking phone calls, you offer the 3 solution options for them, and that has nothing to do with the CRM. As long as you can take incoming phone calls, you can do this without a CRM. But we do have that stuff built out to make your life easier if you would like that.
Got it. Good question there, Victoria. Good question.
Yeah,
We got IG.
Pretty good question. Yeah.
I'm learning how to use IG and YouTube, so y'all just bear with me here. Here's a good one right here. Pin comment. Rehab Homes 404. I guess he's in Atlanta. If he wants to keep the deal, does he have to pay a fee to you, Jason? Because I believe you went over mostly wholesales throughout the presentation.
Nope. Yeah. So I do, to give you the landscape. When you get there, first do whatever you want with the contract that you write. So if you want to keep it and you don't owe us anything, it's yours. Once we set you up, if we joint venture, then we just figure out deal splits based upon what we need to help you with. But folks, we set you up, close all the transactions yourself, keep them as a rental portfolio. I'm telling you, these are, I track 34 lead funnels, folks. These are some of the most profitable deals you close for sure. And so keep them if you want. Wholesale, I do 70% wholesale. The hedge fund level clients that I do stuff like this for, they get to everything first and build a rental portfolio. They mature it for 2 years, sell it for millions, and hire me to do it again. But the game never changes. Who has the workflow to get to the good motivated sellers that really actually need help first? That's never going to change. But what you do with it on the back end is totally up to you.
Let's see. We got a question. Smooth up. How did you go about getting the list from the county? This is
so we teach you how to do that. So we teach you how to do that. I mentioned earlier, this will probably tell you the level that we play at, folks. So hope you have your seatbelts on and the helmet on. Look, I already know that there's 3,200 counties in the United States, and some of the counties are very easy to unlock the tax delinquent list. We teach you how to do that inside the training, where to go, who to talk to, what to do. Every county is different. Some of them, it's a click of a button. Some of them say, yeah, we can get you the list, but you have to come in physically to grab it. Some will send it to you and you have to reformat it, which we have people in place to do that for you. But some of the counties are a little difficult. We've only had 3 counties out of 3,200. And we've only had 3 counties that we couldn't unlock so far. So statistically, it's almost impossible. It's very rare that we can't unlock a county. So as a tax delinquent advocacy client, a tax delinquent blueprint client, once you're part of the team and you're in the private group, if you just simply, and you also get a welcome email saying, hey, here's our support email. You could literally hit support saying, hey, Jason and team, I tried to unlock it from my county. I've tried a couple times. Can you help me? And our team will help you. Number 1. Number 2, hey, I've tried like a world-class champion to unlock it, but man, they're just a pain in my you-know-what. Well, then I'll put you directly in touch with one of our data assassins, Jordan, that can unlock it. So it really doesn't matter to us.
Cool.
If you have problems unlocking it, I'm going to put you directly in touch with Jordan, who's a master at it, who has attorneys that can help unlock that stuff. And by the way, if I'm glad you asked the question, and I hope this lands in the new developing part of your brain right now under this lead flow that we're talking about. If it's hard to unlock your list, I would get freaking over the moon excited, because that means regular casual investors that they just give up. And so when we unlock it, those leads are 500 to 1,000 times more valuable.
Okay. All right, we got to let Jason get out of here. Look, y'all, the link's right there in the show notes. This is the 4th of July special for you. Goes away after that. I'll be getting emails and Jason all the time when he closes it out. He allows me to do this because of our relationship. So if everybody wouldn't mind just giving a thumbs up and a thank you, Jason, in that chat there. Jay, final thoughts for my roundup family here, not just for a high level thing, not necessarily for tax delinquent, because some people still trying to just wrap their mind around just the real estate business in general. I see somebody has a comment here. She has a friend spent $100,000 and is still trying to understand what Mayo is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Christy,
we could certainly help you with that stuff. Okay, so two final thoughts then. Just to help everybody wrap their mind around, and this is just to give you directions when you go to sleep and then you wake up tomorrow for the rest of your career, no matter if you're getting started or you've been doing it. Here are a couple things to think about. Not all lead sources are created equal. So what that should mean to you is this: really make a strong business decision on what lead flows you're going to go after. Example, you can go after vacants and close a deal. Absolutely, without a doubt. That's a longer journey, folks. We track it all, right? I get paid to track this stuff. So that's a longer journey. You may talk to 100 homeowners and say pound salt to find 2 to get an offer and squeak out a deal. But when you're talking about tax delinquents, these people are so far behind when you go after the right ones. It's less people spoken to per contract. So no matter what lead flow you go after, whether it's code violations, water disconnect, cease and desist, order to vacate, pre-foreclosure, tax delinquent leads, probate, I could go on and on, folks. Fire and water damage leads. I track all the stuff that just came out of my mouth. What lead flows? We know which ones. Like on some lead flows, we close 1 out of every 4. Some lead flows, we close 1 out of every 40. So for you listening, decide what lead flow is worth your time.
Yeah, just make a decision.
I'm telling you right here on this one. And then secondly, don't just buy a big list, skip trace, cold call. You're throwing money away and you'll get frustrated. So those are 2 big things. And if a seller tells you not for sale, here's just a little tip. These are some of the things that we'll teach you when you sit in on the 1 day of the 2-day blueprint. We have little things with it. Well, it's not really for sale. Here's a phrase you can use. Even if I can overpay, stop the tax. What do you mean? Well, if we like an area, this is one of 2 areas that we can potentially overpay. Tell me what you want for it.
Jason, you're sick in the head. You need some real.
Kind of a, you know what?
I got some. We gotta get out of here. Shannon gave us a love offering. Thank you so much. She has her website set up already, and I've seen all this stuff with Jason. He's already paid people to set everything up. He's got the actors, the script, all the stuff. Jason, go ahead. Somebody that already has a site set up.
Yeah. So if you have a site set up already, you have a real estate website, that's fine. We'll set up a separate site for you. And here's why I would say that you would do that. When they get your tax advocacy letter, hey, call us about tax assistance code TAC 42400, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. Then if they don't want to go to your investor website because now they're like, oh, you're just an investor. So we set up a full-blown tax care website with a person that actually speaks to them when they visit your website. Hey, we're glad you're here. So look, here's how our program works, blah, blah, blah. So you want a website that is solely devoted to tax advocacy, and we build that out for you. Your only responsibility, by the way, which our team helps you with, is we'll develop what your tax advocacy company name is and buy the domain name and set it up for you.
Got it. You got that, Shannon? You want to keep them completely separate, Jay? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because you don't want to confuse the homeowner. They're like, oh my God, there's a program for me. And then they visit your investor website. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. You're just an investor. That is not the way you want them contacting you folks.
No doubt. All right. Jason, thank you so much. Round up, homies. It is an honor. Happy 4th of July to everyone on here. I hope you enjoy your holiday. I'm doing my part for you. I promise y'all, I'm in the trenches doing my part for you, bringing whatever value I can. So over the weekend, while you're having fun with your family, just consider which strategy will you be using. Pick one. If it's not this one, just pick one that you can roll with and attack it, like Jason's saying. All right. Share this content with anybody else that needs to learn how to actually get into the real estate business, and hit that like button. See you next time, Roundup, homies. Peace. Thanks, Jay. Okay.
See you on the inside, people.